U.S. Bank is proud to join Deluxe as a partner in Season 5 of the Small Business Revolution, bringing their passion for small business to Fredonia, New York. For more financial tips and resources, go to usbank.com/SBR.
You guys are so awesome to come out in the weather. I know you guys are used to this. We've never done one of these in the snow. Yeah! And now, Amanda Brinkman.
Thank you, Ty Pennington. Each season, we're always trying to show different kinds of businesses than we have in the past and really pick incredibly moving stories. So we cannot wait to work with Charlotte and Michael from Fresh and Fancy Flowers.
Fresh and Fancy!
I can't wait to introduce you to Charlotte and Michael, an incredible mother-son duo who run this flower shop, and it's been in business for 30 years.
Well, I bet they know everybody in town because, let's face it, every town needs a florist.
Hey! Oh, congratulations!
It smells so good in here.
Well, I feel like for us to really understand this business, we've got to get our hands on some flowers. Should we try some arranging?
Yeah.
Come on in. Step one is a clean vase. Now, you're the construction guy, so throw little rocks in there. Now, these tulips are grown in Canada. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Well, I've always heard tulips are better than one, right?
He's been working on that pun since the corner. He was like...
Okay, we need a couple more pieces of leather leaves. Here you
You
go.
look like Caesar.
Caesar's okay, but I think Adonis is really what I was going for.
So now we kind of turn it and go, all right, who needs one?
Right.
And then baby's breath.
Baby's breath. I'm so excited.
Really baby's breath.
And so you put this in last.
Yeah.
All right, what do you think, coaches? Are we hired?
Well, the cute guy would bring people in, so you're hired. And she's gorgeous, so you're hired.
Your clay will mold you.
Small towns across the country are fighting for their survival with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight? If we dedicate a little money, a lot of experience, and thousands of hours of work into one town, focusing on the businesses at the heart of their Main Street? The revolution became a national movement with over 30,000 towns nominated for a $500,000 makeover and more than 1 million votes cast for the Season 5 winner.
Hello, Fredonia!
But what started as a revitalization for Fredonia, New York, became a desperate struggle for small businesses across the country. Amanda Brinkman and her team of marketing experts at Deluxe are rolling up their sleeves, doing what they do for millions of small businesses every day. And they're not alone. Renovation icon Ty Pennington will be working with the team to rehabilitate the town's buildings, while a whole cast of experts and partners help Fredonia's entrepreneurs face down a global economic crisis. Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business to see if we can change the odds. If in a moment unlike anything this team has ever seen, we can keep the revolution alive.
I've always said the first gift you ever give, it's a flower. From the time that you're an infant walking on green grass for the first time and it's spring, you scurry to pick a dandelion and bring it to somebody that you love. That's where it starts. So, need a gift for somebody? Flowers always work. I was always the kid who decorated the classroom. I was always the one picking wildflowers. So it's just a natural thing for me, and I love it. I still love it after all these years. 31 years ago, I opened this flower shop with my mom.
A lot of kids had daycare. I had a flower shop to grow up in. My girlfriends always had the best corsages and made me the popular guy at the dance.
This place, it's like an intersection of life. It's an intersection of the highs, and it can be the intersection of the lows as well. When people walk through the front door, they don't know why you're walking in. And that takes a special skill set to be able to handle that and do it well.
We're probably the most flexible people that you've ever met. The customer may come in and I'm working on something that has to be at a wedding, funeral by 11 o'clock. What do? We really don't accept the word no. We will make it happen for you. And I think that's why we're here for 31 years. When my mom was ready to retire, I bought the flower shop from her. But when we started Fresh and Fancy, there were 9 florists in 30 to 50 mile radius, really. Now there are 2.
You know, florists are old school. We play with flowers and dirt and petals. But then the internet came and the aggregators came. Somewhere along the line, we got squeezed out.
At one time, I pretty much emptied my IRA to keep my store open. I mean, a lot of times I don't get paid. I pay my employees, I pay my suppliers, I pay my rent, and then you look and go, well, maybe later. I am fortunate when I'm ready to retire 20, 30, 40 years from now, Michael will take over, but he's taking over a lot now. And that's why we're excited about what's gonna happen. We can't even believe this gift. The chance that somebody can help us. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see hope, and it's pretty exciting.
Michael, did you always know you were going to carry on this legacy?
I did not know. That's I was a free thinker, wanderlust kid, but I've got a retinal disease called retinitis pigmentosa. I knew it was coming. I've known since, I was a kid, but when you can see fine at 8, 9, 10, it's just this daunting thing off in the future. But gradually, lights start going out. The flashing lights replace what used to be somebody's face. You just start falling into this descent to darkness. And you go blind, you feel like you become partially invisible. Didn't know what I was going to do with my life, trying to figure out what's next. So I came home, started hanging out with the customers and making flowers. I still get an opportunity to have this personal connection, and I work with someone I love, and an opportunity to show other people you don't have to fade away. Every time somebody leaves happy, I got a sense of pride. Every time I make a flower arrangement and it sells before theirs, you don't know how good that feels.
Mother to daughter, daughter to son. These kinds of generational family businesses give small towns a lasting identity in a world increasingly ruled by anonymous chains. But just because a business has been around for 30 years, that doesn't mean it's going to be around for 30 more. And even long-standing services like the floral industry are increasingly dominated by large corporations. It's time to fight back. Amy Backman has spent the last 10 years doing exactly that. And her Minneapolis-based shop, Spruce, has built an iconic brand based on custom design that has allowed her to fend off deep-pocketed competitors. She is the perfect person to help Charlotte and Michael set up Fresh and Fancy for the future.
Let's take a small tour.
Okay.
We're gonna come down this aisle, and this room is being used as an office, coffee room, flower room during busy times where we shut the heat off and just fill every space with flowers to the ceiling.
Wow.
This area is total supplies from floor to ceiling, as you can see.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how many dollars you have tied up in all this inventory?
A lot. I don't know what the value is. I know everything that's in here. This is where the magic happens. Yeah. I work here, Hillary works there.
Okay.
Michael works wherever he can, as does Emma. And during a busy time, there's stems to your knees.
Yep.
Every once in a while, somebody will come and sweep us out.
Did this used to be like a kitchen, a commercial kitchen?
This was a restaurant.
Okay.
So do you feel like you have a good sense for kind of the back room space?
Yes, definitely.
Sit down and talk about the business.
I think so. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, here comes the hard part.
So we had a tour. You guys have an amazing reputation in town. Let's talk a little bit about this space.
I do have questions about that. How much square footage do you guys have here?
I really don't know what the square footage is. I know it's a postage stamp.
Okay. I can tell you about postage stamp. This is not a postage stamp. Our original space was 900 square feet, and I'm pretty sure this probably front area is 900 square feet. So you can probably do more with the space. Our design counter is in the middle of our shop because they'll come in and just sit down and watch us.
People love to see it.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, so there's a lot of inventory management that's wrapped up into that whole story as well.
Then this one I think might be harder, but let's talk a little bit about the name.
I knew that was coming.
As you kind of look to the future of the business, do we feel like Fresh and Fancy still reflects who you are and who you want to be and what you want to be known for as we're talking about going back to this more design-centric space?
For 31 years, they've known everything coming out of here is fresh and fancy, so if we find something better...
We're not making that decision right now, but we are open to comparing and contrasting.
This is wide open.
Okay. Are you feeling like there's room to grow? What areas of the business do you feel like you need the most help and guidance on?
One of my desires is that our website gets stronger and better so we can reach out and gather orders ourselves instead of giving it to the processors who are laughing all the way to the bank.
But right now your website is you're using the Teleflora platform,
We are.
right? And that is typical in the floral industry. They make that e-commerce piece of it easier for you. Give us a sense for that structure. Are you paying for the platform? Are they paying per order?
We are paying for both. Yeah, we're paying a monthly fee, plus they garnish, 20%, something like that. When Michael came aboard, he and I talked about doing it on our own. It's scary. It's scary being out there, but we have to stop this bleeding.
So a bit about floral wire services, because it's a big part of Fresh and Fancy's business model. Back in the day, wire services helped people buy flowers for friends and family who lived in another town by connecting out-of-town orders to local flower shops. The internet pretty much eliminated that need because it was easy enough to search for, say, flowers in Wabash, Indiana. But a lot of local florists didn't have websites, so the wire services got into the business of building templated sites for small flower shops. They'd even do it for free. The site came with a monthly maintenance fee, not unusual. But then you also had to pay a percentage for every online sale. Then, shops like Fresh and Fancy began to find that their website would only allow them to sell certain arrangements prescribed by the wire service at a price the shops didn't control. And in order to be ready to fill those orders, they had to stock the flowers, dozens of vases, and accessories featured in those designs, all of which had to be purchased from the wire service. And then things got really complicated. The wire services started building the same templated websites for flower shops that didn't even physically exist. They would pay to ensure those sites performed well in search rankings, and then when the orders came in, refer them on to shops like Fresh and Fancy to be filled, with a fee for the referral. So Fresh and Fancy still gets the order, but they're paying for the website and the flowers and the referral, while making arrangements they didn't design at a price they don't control.
We opened our business 10 years ago, and from day one, we've never had a wire service. I mean, there were days it was tempting, but we've always had our own website. I mean, we started out very rude in the very beginning, but we put our own designs out there, and our customers can definitely see the difference, and that's why they call us. And I feel like, obviously, you have that passion, and you want your stuff to be out there and be seen.
I'd put her designs up against anybody's, hands down. I may be a little biased.
I don't think most people know that you're being kind of forced via this platform to use that kind of photography on your site that isn't your design. It's a bit of a sham. I mean, they're taking a fee from the customer. They're taking a huge cut from you as the local florist. We also want to make sure we're clear that you are not alone in being a part of these, wire services. It appears attractive because there's volume there, but if it isn't profitable volume, I don't know, I just think it's time that this ruse be exposed. We can start a revolution within, like, the small town, local, floral industry. I mean,
You are not kidding. Take our industry back.
Yes.
Take it back.
Yes, yes. I think a lot of industries could learn from what we've just unpacked here, is that volume alone is not enough if you're not making money on it.
Right. Plus, this allows them to become their brand and who they really are.
One of the discussions that we had with Amy was we really want to kind of open up the entire shop so people can see the art being made.
You guys got huge windows. You have lots of light coming in. I mean, I tell you what, you put like a really good-looking natural wood, even if it looks like butcher block or anything that kind of like, it's really gonna make people want to come in. Has anyone ever pulled up the carpet here, ever?
Not since we've been here, no.
Somebody's gonna have to pull all this out of here.
Absolutely. Pull it up.
You know, they say that a good artist puts their heart and soul into their creation. Florists truly are artists in the way that they present flowers. But their shop doesn't represent the flowers that go out the door. They need a lot more fresh and a touch more fancy.
It's gonna look so good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
In hard times, we lean on the people we love. And for as long as anyone can remember, flowers have been a way to tell someone you care about them, even when you can't be there yourself. Fredonia was about to need fresh and fancy more than ever.
It happened really quick. The government said you are, mandated to close all non-essential businesses, and all my wholesalers contacted us and said, we've been shut down as a non-essential business, so our supply chain was cut off.
We worry about with staff, they're all laid off. It's so surreal and totally uncharted territory. It's pretty tough.
Everyone is having to figure out this new reality, including our team at Deluxe. Typically, we physically bring Charlotte and Michael into the process, working alongside us in Minneapolis as we overhaul their business. Instead, Ty, Amy, and I met at a safe distance and got to work on a plan that would carry fresh and fancy through this bizarre moment in history, while also setting them up for another few decades of success.
While they're closed is definitely the time to get in and start doing construction. There's such potential there. You should really be walking into a neutral palette that you're immediately hit by color, which would be the flowers. And so you almost need to style the place to look like it's like a gallery of beauty, right?
Maybe making a photo wall so they can still keep in front of their customers using their Instagram. And taking those photos is so easy because all you do is make it, turn around, and take a photo of it.
Social media is such a great way to showcase your range of designs and start to get to know them from a personality perspective too, because the big challenge this year is to move Charlotte and Michael off of the wire service and onto their own platform. No matter what we do from the branding, from a naming perspective, we really want to communicate in that design aspect and really infuse a modern look and feel through everything.
My experience is in transforming spaces, and this is probably one of the biggest transformations we're ever going to make.
It's a very welcome diversion from a very difficult situation. A blessing where we knew we were going to have to close for renovations anyway, so it gives us a way to work through an unworkable time.
While the shop closure cleared a perfect window for construction, it also created a problem. How do you stay in front of consumers when they can't come into your business?
Hey, Charlotte and Michael, good to see you. Just wanted to let you know that our social media team created a post for you to put on your Facebook page. So this is a great way for you to let people know that even though they can't go into the shop, that you're still there creating these beautiful arrangements.
Back in Minneapolis, we finished building out the command center and got Fredonia on the line to show Michael and Charlotte the beginnings of a website that would compete with the wire services on search and blow them out of the water on design.
And action.
A couple things that we noticed right off the bat is that it is the exact same site as our nearest competitor.
Yeah, there's one here that was Ava's Flowers. There is no physical Ava's Flowers. They're basically capturing visitor traffic, taking the order, and then sending it to local florists like you and taking money off the top.
But how can they do that? They're literally cannibalizing the very businesses that they're already taking so much money from.
Exactly 100% correct.
That's one of the big things that we're always looking for is why someone would want to shop with you versus your competitor, and how do you stand out? Charlotte, with you making a lot of unique designs, we want to feature that. And so we're going to put this big hero area on your site so that you're able to market directly something that you've made that's unique. And it's also going to put authentic, real photography on your site. It's going to feel real. It's going to feel like you guys. It's not going to feel generic.
UX and SEO kind of go hand in hand. Search engines like Google are really looking at how usable your site is and how mobile friendly it is. And then the last thing I'll touch on was you've had your domain name for the past 20 years. So regardless of whether you change your business name, let's keep the domain name that you have that communicates trust to the search engines.
We've talked a lot about potentially changing the name Fresh and Fancy to something else. We sent over a list of ideas, so just wanted to check in with you what your feelings were.
I went through the list and I just wasn't comfortable because it's over 30 years.
Maybe we can achieve the modern goal a different way. Adding some qualifiers instead of flowers and gifts. Let's maybe think about words like design or studio.
I like the path that you're on.
With the team from Deluxe strapping on their sweatpants and building out the site, Ty was overseeing a massive makeover at Fresh and Fancy.
I was thinking we'd go with a flooring that's sort of gray and neutral, and I was going to show you some samples. You tell me which one you like, all right? So here's one that's sort of the even toned, and then this one really has a wood grain. Your thoughts?
That one, the last one, I love it.
It looked really good, and I think anything with a bold color like flowers would really pop off of it. So, all right, good call.
Okay, and there's just one more thing I want to show you. So we needed help moving in all these new pieces of equipment, and look who shows up, Mike Plaza from Nice and Clean.
That just says everything about this community and really what this show is about.
While we were still in the thick of renovations, New York was able to flatten the curve, and Fresh and Fancy was able to start delivering flowers again.
When we could finally start again, it felt so good. We got up, we went to work and said, we're here for you. I think people really, really appreciated it.
Overhauling the business while operating out of it did make for some chaos at the shop, but the business was able to finally generate much needed revenue. And that shot in the arm seemed to open up the creative process. Guys, I'm so excited for our design team to get to work with you. Deluxe helps a lot of businesses create their logos, and sometimes it's just through our online tool, but we always get such a kick out of collaborating directly with the business owners.
It's incredible what happens when you go from seeing just the logo on a white sheet of paper, seeing the logo in mock-ups. It really helps bring that to life.
It makes it very hard to choose between all four of these.
The votes are in, and I think I'm going to go with 3. Woo! Thanks for a great job.
Sometimes just changing your surroundings spurs creativity and new hope, new ideas. And I think those are all things that Charlotte needed, and it was just the right time for it to happen.
In spite of all our collaborative progress, Fresh and Fancy has still lost weeks of sales during lockdown. And the drop in revenue was leaving Charlotte and Michael anxious about abandoning a wire service that, for all its faults, did ensure that the phone kept ringing. So we brought in financial expert Morris Jackson from US Bank to make sure that this was the right time to take the leap.
I no longer want to give the wire service all of my profits. But it's scary because we've been with this company for so long.
You know, we see this a lot with our small business owners where they focus so much on the gross and they use third-party companies like wire services to really help drive that gross revenue, but don't realize how much is actually eating up in their profits.
We can see from your P&L that you are breaking even as a business. And so how are you being paid, Charlotte?
That's a good question.
So you're not making an income on the business right now?
That's right.
Okay.
For your P&L for 2019, there's the wire service charge at the end here. The first item under expenses advertising is about almost $15,000. You're already taking out $13,000 for commissions. And then you're also paying them to have built and managed the website for you, right?
And then if you include the flower arrangements they have to create and how much more she has to pay for that,
Because now we're at 46. So
Charlotte, what do you say?
Charlotte, there's your salary.
Yeah.
You can see the volume of your business that comes from the wire service, but we can see in terms of the impact on your actual profitability, it's just busy work. It's not actually making you money.
So by removing yourself from the wire service, you may see less gross revenues, but your net profit at the end of the day, you feel like your work is actually being valued now, which is exactly where I know you want your business to be.
So that was it. Charlotte and Michael were cutting the cord. And that meant finding new versions of systems that had previously run through the wire service, from point of sale to referral network. That's how we found Iris.
Florists have a lot more options than they ever did in the past. Iris covers all the essentials and has a flower shop network to handle wire outs and wire ins. I think that they're currently the leading alternative to wire service.
It's so efficient. We are very excited.
These solutions weren't just replacements. They were improvements. But overhauling Fresh and Fancy's operations was still going to come with a learning curve. So we thought it might be helpful if Charlotte and Michael could talk to a friend who has been there before.
Hey, Charlotte and Michael. Nice to virtually see you guys again. I'm just gonna give you guys a little tour here today. This is our main design area right here. This is Kyle, he's making some arrangements for tomorrow. This section of the studio, we have private events here. We have regularly scheduled classes. We only have less than 100 square feet for retail, really, which is by design.
I've become very good at purging. You'll be very proud of me.
That is really good to hear. So how are things going with you guys? What's happening there?
For Mother's Day, people couldn't get to their moms or their grandmothers, and I don't think we've ever been busier at Mother's Day. All of a sudden, our community members realized that they could depend on small business. Like, oh my gosh, can I get flowers to a nursing home? Nothing's gonna stop a good florist, you know.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
That's something we saw from all our small businesses this season. Anyone who survived lockdown came out the other side feeling, well, unstoppable. And with the floral business picking up in a serious way, we couldn't wait to gather one more time and present Michael and Charlotte with the tools that would help Fresh and Fancy thrive in Fredonia for another 30 years to come.
Hey, Michael and Charlotte.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Since we can't be there in person, Charlotte and Michael created a special video for us, giving us a tour of all of the changes. So we're going to take a peek at that and see what a big transformation it's been.
Welcome to the new Fresh and Fancy Floral Design Studio, and it truly is improved. My space is completely opened up, which has made a tremendous difference. The whole design area is wide open. We have all new concrete countertops. Computer system is all here. We can see customers coming in, and this not only is a sales counter, but clear it and it's a workstation. I have a photo area now. When I'm done making an arrangement, I can click a quick photo and I'll be able to put that on all the social media.
And with all that great photo equipment you guys sent us, the photos look amazing.
And then this fabulous tile was laid. It's beautiful and it's exactly what I wished for. Everybody loves the fact that it's Fresh and Fancy Floral Design Studio now. That was a great name change. More than that, and every day is a surprise with SBR, is my van, and it looks adorable. It certainly stands out when we pull into somebody's driveway to bring them the best surprise ever. I just feel better. I feel better. I love coming to work in the morning, and I walk in and go, really, this is me, this is mine? How in the world did I get so lucky?
Oh my gosh, it looks like a completely different space.
Unbelievable.
Everybody who walks in looks around and says, wow, this is amazing. And we just tell them SBR, Deluxe. It is a revolution.
I love it. I love it. All right, so speaking of a revolution, let's talk a little bit about social media. So you're doing a great job using Facebook, but we really want to encourage you to use Instagram more for a couple of reasons. One, posts with images will outperform a text-only image by 75%. And you're such a visual business that we want to make sure that we are using that in social. And we really want you to encourage customers to post pictures.
One thing that we've done to make it really easy for people is we have a little line in our delivery cards that says, if you love your arrangement, please tag us on social media. And then we re-tag them as well. People really like that interactive nature.
I can do that. I'm learning.
Yes, yes. So are you ready to see your new website?
Oh my goodness,
Wow.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
Look at that.
It's us.
It feels like us, yeah.
The biggest difference here is that we're actually using your designs, Charlotte.
Exactly, that's mine.
So then we get into the flowers page. What I'm really excited about is this navigation over on this other side. We find that the price calculator piece or the price range piece is often the most engaged with when it comes to things like flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. They always call up and say, I'm looking for something in the $75 range, so this will be a great tool for the customer as well.
It's all about customer ease. So another way for people to sort through flower types is an occasions page. So people can navigate by selecting whether it's anniversaries, birthdays, thank yous, Mother's Day.
I think that's probably going to be one of the most frequently used tools on the site.
Now this makes me crazy. This is your About Us page on the Wire Services version of your templated site. This isn't telling your unique story. Sending flowers is a very personal thing, and we want to meet the people behind the creativity. This is your new About Us page. We're gonna see Charlotte right away. We're gonna talk about the fact that this is a family-owned business. Charlotte, we're gonna see you with your mom who you started this business with. We wanna hear that history.
Yeah, that's great.
Can we have a minute? 31 years ago, I didn't think I'd be sitting here with my son.
You could just tell in their faces, they didn't really have to say much. After 30 years, keeping that energy and that passion going is really, really hard, especially these days. To just be able to reinvigorate that passion, I think, is key. And the tools that Deluxe has provided them is just really going to help them take it to the next level and continue throughout another 30 years.
So can you please look under your table? There's a bag.
A swag bag?
Oh my goodness.
Let's see what's inside.
I love it. It's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, imagine someone walking around in Fredonia with that bag.
I know, I love it.
And then you've got card magnets for if you're ever having people do deliveries that aren't using the vans.
I love the logo. I think that's the biggest thing is it was exciting to see the end result of all of these months of work.
It's a big step to be able to be independent. Our hearts and our thoughts and our vision went into this. Our business is very personal, and now it feels personal.
So we had one more thing that we wanted to share with you. So, we know that the Chautauqua Blind Association have offered incredible support to not just your family, but to you personally, Michael. We wanted to do something to recognize the important role that they have played in your family. But since we're not there in person, I need a little bit of help from my friend Anne.
Oh.
What do we got here? Oh, I said you weren't gonna get me, but man.
This year, we're really lucky to have Salesforce come on as a partner to the Small Business Revolution, and accessibility is a core value to them as well. And so we told them about your story and about your family, and they want to match this donation and also make a $5,000 donation to the Chautauqua Blind Association.
Oh my goodness. How did...
It's absolutely amazing to be able to, by way of your show, make our business new again, and also be able to reach out to an organization that's done quite a bit for me. Trying to make people's lives better, level the playing field. So that's huge. Thank you, bottom of my heart.
This is why small businesses are so beautiful. They serve their community serves them. And the virtuous cycle isn't just built on commerce. It's built on actual trust and care. Opportunistic middlemen make a lot of money in this country, mostly because they don't ever have to think about making anything else. But the satisfaction you get from truly creating something, finding a way to share your passion with the world, that's something money can't buy. You don't have to win the small business revolution to get the marketing makeover that will take your business to the next level. To find out how Deluxe can help your small business, go to deluxe.com/revolution.
Salesforce is committed to helping small businesses tackle big challenges, and we're honored to join Deluxe in the small business revolution, working alongside the entrepreneurs of Fredonia, New York, to help one town get through these extraordinary times. Visit salesforce.com/smallbusiness to learn more.
Lena's is more than a pizza and sub shop. It is a local favorite.
Making something with your own two hands. For him, it's a pizza that he's putting love into.
And a place Matt holds near and dear to his heart.
When the word pizza comes out, you're going to Lena's.
This shop means so much to me.
You feel like you've outgrown the paper, the pens, the markers.
The Small Business Revolution team is here to help Lena's bring the community together for generations to come.
Yeah, it's definitely been pushed to its limit.
Now streaming on Hulu, Prime Video, and smallbusinessrevolution.org.